What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome, and if you're coming back, thanks for the continued support. So as I'm sure you can tell from the title of the video, you know what this is about. Having some issues with both my cars, my Z and my G. But before we go ahead and discuss those issues, first I want to say thank you for your patience and your continued support during my move and relocation. It's been quite hectic. Moving is tough in general, and then when you throw in moving to a different state and then pretty much across, or at least to the other side of the country, a lot of adjustments that you need to make, changing all your paperwork, your address, all that stuff, and kind of, just becoming more familiar with a new area. So thank you again for your continued support and your patience. I'm going to be getting back to making videos, so I'm sure you're happy to hear about that. I'm actually in the process of editing the clutch job on the G. It is done, but I have about almost 3 hours worth of footage to go through and edit. Like I said before, I'm going to make it a two-part video, kind of a disassembly and then reassembly. So stay tuned for that. That will be up very shortly. So now the topic of this video, I'm having some issues with my G and my Z, both with the clutch systems and more specifically, at least as far as I'm concerned, what I've narrowed down to is the hydraulics. The issue with the G, I pretty much brought upon myself, or could have prevented this if I had changed the clutch master cylinder when I did all the rest of the hydraulics and the clutch when I did the job. But I was in a rush to get the car ready to move to Florida because we were driving that down. And at the time there was nothing wrong with the master cylinder, so I just said I'll forget it and I'll pack it up and bring it down with me and then do it down here. Well, I think that time has come to install that new master cylinder. When I first did the clutch job, again, I'll go into a review of the product and the clutch and all that in another video. But when I first did the clutch, everything was working perfectly. The shifts were nice, smooth, crisp. But then once I got down here and put, the 1,200, 1,300 miles on it, between driving it down and then driving it around here, noticing some pretty bad shifting issues. It's most pronounced during quick red line shifts, especially 1 to 2. There's a nice grind. It's almost like pretty much that the clutch isn't fully disengaging. And then if you're at a traffic light, stop sign, whatever it may be, you take your foot off the brake and go to engage into first gear, you kind of feel the car kind of push a little bit forward before it goes into first. And after experiencing that, I was talking with some of my friends and decided to re-bleed the clutch system, thought maybe that would take care of it, and it didn't. So basically what it seems like is, the stronger clutch, the stock master cylinder really, or at least the old stock master cylinder, isn't really able to keep up with the increased pressure. So basically made it down here fine. And it's fine driving around, but for performance shifting real quick, it's pretty much no good. So it seems like the seals internally have just seen better days. It's got 72,000 miles on it. And then, like I said, mainly because of putting that higher pressure clutch in, I think that just kind of pushed it over the edge. The G and the Z have pretty much the exact same clutch setup, South bend clutch and flywheel, and Z-speed heavy duty slave. The only thing different was, like I said, I didn't put the new master cylinder in the G, but the Z has a Wilwood heavy duty master cylinder. And when I first did that job, the car shifted great. It was like butter, on the track, off the track. But then recently, I think it was actually at my last track event, I noticed that the gears were starting to grind. And I found that odd because, like I said, the transmission was fine, and then kind of out of the blue, this started happening, especially when I would go from my third to second downshift on the track. I would get a pretty, well, at the time, a light grind. But now, with that car, I can hardly shift over 7,000 RPMs because it won't go in. Not even a grind didn't go in, it just doesn't go in. And since getting worse, it has started to affect other gears, and those aren't smooth anymore either. And actually with the Z, before I even came down to Florida, I did re-bleed that system, put new fluid in it, and that did not help. Actually, in another one of my videos when I installed, I believe it was the brake master cylinder brace from Z1, someone did point out that my clutch fluid was very dirty, and I hadn't really noticed it, so I was like, all right, well, maybe I should change that and, drain it through. And I thought that was weird because that system only has, I would say, maybe 5,000 miles on it, but nonetheless, I re-bled it, new fluid, and come to find out, I checked it a couple days and it's dirty again. So that really seems to confirm my suspicions that it's the master cylinder again. It seems that the seals inside are kind of deteriorating. So actually, let me take you outside now and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So if we come over here and pop this top off, you'll see just how dirty it is inside. And now that's a lot of sediment. And like I said, I flushed this before I came down to Florida. And just from some short driving trips around here, it seems like it's, pretty much gotten dirty to the point of needing replacement again. So that's the situation I'm in right now with my Z. I'm a little disappointed in the quality of that Wilwood Master, if in fact that is the cause, which I don't know. I've troubleshooted everything, and it seems like that is, you know, the cause of the problem. There's no problems with the engagement of the clutch, but there is problem with disengagement. So bottom line is I have to dig through my boxes now and see if I can find that master cylinder for the G. I have so many boxes to go through, I'm not really sure which one it is. But anyway, I have this week off from work before I start my new job. So hopefully I can locate that part and I can install that, because I need to have a, you know, reliable car for back and forth to work. I'm basically looking for your input as to what I should go with for the Z. I know RJM makes a master cylinder as well as Tilton. I actually was originally going to go with the Tilton. I've heard good things about them. So I may give that product a try. Like I said, I'm really disappointed in the Wilwood. It really didn't stand up to much abuse at all. Basically the system is 5,000 miles old, if that, like I said. So you guys are always good to give me advice and your input with what you think I should go with, and, you know, give me your views on products that you have used. I don't know if I said this before, but I have an OEM replacement for the G. The only heavy-duty master cylinder that I know of that for the G is the RJM, and that was quite a bit more expensive, and I was, I don't know, kind of trying to stay within a budget, but knowing what I know now and seeing how these clutch systems are, I should have just went with the heavy-duty, heavy-duty master cylinder from RJM for that, but I'll test it out with the OEM, see how long that replacement lasts, and then we'll take it from there. So any advice you can give me would be appreciated. Your input with what you've used, if you have used the Wilwood master cylinder, if you've had the same problem that I'm having now. Alright, so thanks for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you have any input, please post a comment down below. I'd really appreciate it. And again, thank you for being very patient with me and supportive with my move. So we're going to start this thing back up again, keep this thing rolling, and see if we can keep growing and helping you guys out. So with all that being said, stay tuned this week for a bunch of new videos, including the clutch job finally, and hopefully you'll be able to enjoy that. Alright, so if you're new to the channel, welcome, stay tuned, you caught it at a good time. We're going to be putting up some new videos this week and continuing with the hopefully 3 videos a week schedule. And thanks to everyone for their continued support, I really appreciate it as always. So I hope you all have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.